What's up, roofing contractors? Michael Mignona here, and in this video, I want to talk about the importance of clear and simple messaging in your ads and marketing, and how everybody constantly messes it up, and why they're messing it up, and how to change the way you think about it so that you don't mess it up. So let's just jump right into it right now, and I'm going to tell you a story. So here's the story. I had a client reach out to me and my assistant, and they asked us if we could start running an ad for them that was sort of for the holiday season. I have nothing against holiday season ads and angles like that, but particularly the content involved explaining that on the ad itself, anyone who applies for financing to get their roof done and is approved immediately gets $1,000 in cash counted out in their hands right when they're approved, so they have it in their hands for the holidays. Now, that sounds like a really cool thing, doesn't it? I mean, I would love to have $1,000 cash counted out into my hands just for getting approved for the roof that I was going to have done on my home, so that I could use it for gifts and things like that. But here's the thing. It's too complicated. That's number one. It's just too complicated. On the ad, when people see that, they're just like, I don't know what they're talking about. They don't really connect all the dots. They misinterpret what the ad even says. And then even worse, they read it and they're like, this sounds scammy. I don't know if this is real. I don't trust this. This sounds like desperate, whatever the case may be. So it becomes too complicated. It might be a great idea, but it becomes too complicated. Now, here's the thing. Even though it's too complicated for the ad, it may not be too complicated for the sale. So this is a question. This is an amazing question to ask yourself whenever you have an idea for what you think might be for your ads. And the question is this: is this a good idea for the ad, or is it a really good idea for the sale? So should you put this in your ad that is looking to attract a homeowner so they become a lead? Or is this something you should use when you're at their house talking to them and need to get them over the finish line to make the sale? And almost every single time a client comes to me with an interesting idea like this, because this is a cool idea, but almost every time they do, I say, you know what? That's a great idea, but it's for the sales level, not for the ad level. And the reason is because at the ad level, you're not selling a roof. You're selling a phone call. You're selling an appointment. And you're really selling a phone call. You're selling the belief that when you call them, after that lead comes through, when you contact them, they should pick up the phone and give you the time of day and talk to you and really trust that you might be the company that ultimately should do their roof, or at least meet them at their home to talk about what you might be able to do to help them with their roof. So because the ad level is for selling a phone call or an appointment, one or the other or both, it's important that you don't try to sell a roof at the ad level. And in particular, with regard to this idea for counting out $1,000 in cash upon approval for financing, like at the ad level, no one is going to be like, oh, I'm excited to apply for financing. They don't even know what they might be applying for or getting. They haven't even met anyone. They don't even think they need a roof replacement. They think their roof just needs a little repair. You need to get to their house. And you need to get them on the phone and then get to their house. So our job as marketers is not to help you sell roofs. I mean, obviously that's what you're going to want to do. But our job as marketers is to get you to their house. And the first thing we need to do is get them to send in their information so that you can get them on the phone. So how do we, in the ad, get them to send you their information and be excited to pick up the phone to talk to you? Once they do that, then it's your job to sell the appointment and ultimately sell the roof. Now, good advertising can make that a bit easier by being open and honest and truthful and trustworthy and trust building. But at the end of the day, if you try to sell the roof at the ad level, It's going to completely confuse people. It's going to overwhelm them. It's going to make them feel uncomfortable. It's kind of like proposing marriage on a first date. You don't sit down at dinner with someone and get down on one knee before you've talked about what your likes and dislikes are in life, and what your philosophy is on raising kids, and or if you want to even have kids in the first place. Like, you don't just get down, you don't just propose marriage. You have to, and before you even get to dinner, you have to get them to agree to talk to you in the first place. So if you go too fast, that's a huge turnoff, and it works like that in business as well. So the takeaway here is this. If you're thinking about ideas for interesting ads, ask yourself this question always, and that is this a good idea for the ad, or is this a better idea for the sale, for helping my salespeople or myself, if I'm the salesperson, get across the finish line when I'm at their kitchen table and they're deciding if they want to use me or not? Is this the thing that's going to be like, create that sense of urgency so that they feel like they should just do this with you at the sale level? Or is this something that's going to really get them to want to submit their information in the first place via the ad, so that you can get a phone call, so that they can get a phone call and meet you at their house ultimately for an at-home estimate or something like that? So that's huge. I hope this video helps you think about how to create great advertising for your business, and helps you kind of check yourself with regard to simplicity in your ad messaging. And for roofing, it's, actually, before I go, I want to touch on what is the simple messaging that you should be going for in all of your advertising for your roofing company. And that is, you want to communicate to homeowners two main things. Number one, that you do amazing work. And number two, that you charge fair prices. Those are the two things that, if you can communicate that to homeowners in a way that really gets them excited to have found you and stumbled across your ad, you are way ahead of the game. And what you want to avoid is things that confuse homeowners and turn them off because they're skeptical. And I cannot tell you how many ads I see that are either too complicated and just too much in the way of messaging, too much in the way of this would be great for the sales level, not for the ad level, but also just complete misdirection. Like, see if you qualify for this special government program to get a roof installed for no charge. It's like all that BS. Like, you see that all the time. The only people falling for that are probably the people that aren't going to buy a roof from you anyway. Because if they'll fall for that, they probably don't have much else going on, if you know what I mean. So I hope this video helped. Watch it again if you need to kind of like solidify this in your brain. But otherwise, just remember to ask yourself, is this a good idea at the ad level, or is this a better idea at the sales level? And if you answer that question, you'll be way ahead of the game with regard to messaging and ultimately the results you want, which are leads, high quality leads that trust you out of the gate and will want to meet you at their house, which is ultimately what you got to do to sell a roof. So that's it. See you later. Goodbye.